the door, weatherman, and more. What do you got? What are you doing?
Day 2.
Into the fog. We're going out into the fog. The real out the door weather and more is going to be somewhat delayed because we're going to get a couple of runs. First, tracks. I think there's a little tiny bit of dust on the hopefully crust up there this morning. Day 2 of the ski season. It snowed a little bit way up there. Out the door, a little late today, and I got to admit, it's not the first time I've gone out the door so far today. I've already been up into the sky, way up there. Not on that section of the mountain where you can see the rime frost starting to build up. Little natural snow. Sorry, Steve and T-Rex did not make the trip, but how about another meteorologist, surf ski weatherman, Weir Lundstedt.
Retired meteorologist. Just,
Retired, but always a meteorologist.
That's true.
And we did a bunch of lift rides, so that's why out the door is late today. So what's the weather doing right now?
We got, looks like a few snow grains coming down.
Snow grains?
Yeah, snow grains, little fine.
You talk a little louder, Weir.
Can't
quite hear you.
But yeah, you can see a nice little light coating there halfway up the mountain. Waiting for tomorrow, though. That's what I'm waiting for.
What? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Well, we've got, I don't know if you call it an Arctic front. It's a pseudo front with some slightly colder air destabilizing the low levels. And we're going to have some pretty good snow showers scattered about, maybe accumulating an inch or two, primarily in the high terrain.
Are you familiar with that paper done about 30 years ago called Wintertime Instability Index, Windex?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're the author. So yeah, you did this study of synoptic events versus mesoscale events in the Green Mountains. And why is it different here in the Green Mountains?
I think it's its orientation to the Great Lakes and coming out of the Champlain Valley, hits the mountains here and kind of squeezes out that excess.
Yeah, so
moisture.
what makes some fronts stronger than the others in the snow squall department?
Well, I think just a sharp rise in colder air behind the front. I mean, when I say rise, I mean the
vertical velocity.
Yeah, the vertical velocity associated with the front, and also the amount of moisture associated with this front. Now, tomorrow's a little interesting because there's not as much low-level moisture as I'd like to see, but it'll still be fun to watch to see how it all comes about.
Instability.
It's a little magical up here, on Mount Mansfield, with the extra snow it usually gets.
All right, so that's the short term. There's new cold air coming in tomorrow. You care to speculate on the mid-range, the Tuesday, Wednesday system coming at us?
I want to leave that to you.
Leave that to me. How are your legs skiing this first couple days of the season?
Hurting right now. I had to do a little hot tub action after the 10,000 vertical we did this morning. We'll go back this afternoon, probably hit it for a few more runs, and then
all right.
Good start to the season.
Thanks for the call the play-by-play and the 24-hour forecast. As for the longer range forecasts, the guidance is still all over the place with where rain snow lines are going to set up, but I looked at the Euro last night, and it looks a little colder than it did yesterday. And of course, everyone's showing the GFS with one day having a blizzard, next day has a system missing. It's going to end up being a wintry mix, and we're not going to really be able to define what's going to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday, probably for another 24 to 48 hours. But I'll stick with what I've been saying about a net gain of snow for our tallest mountains here in Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and Maine. And there's a slight chance that Sugarloaf could end up staying mostly frozen from that event. And that comes through Tuesday night into Wednesday. There's the latest Euro still from last night. And then gets a lot colder on Thursday, and then another system coming at us over next weekend. I think that one has a better chance of actually being colder. There's so much cold building up in Canada. I just want to show you the 10-day Euro output from last night. This is day 10. You have a 982 surface low north of Hudson Bay, Canada. And anybody that knows anything about thicknesses of the atmosphere, the thickness those numbers in there is 477. So that's an incredibly dense, cold, almost record cold air mass spilling over from the North Pole onto our side of the world. So some of the coldest air on the planet will be in northern Canada. At the same time, there's a trough building in the southwestern United States. So we're going to be importing air directly from the North Pole and from the tropical Pacific and the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic all at the same time a couple of times next week. So if you don't get the snow at your house on Tuesday or tomorrow or Tuesday, or even next Saturday or Sunday. I think the week after, it will come even further south. So it looks like we're going to have a real charge of winter coming in for the end of November. Our thaw here in northern New England in the mountains lasted about 24 hours. It's over now, and there's no more serious thaw, even though we may have a snow to rain situation on Tuesday and early Wednesday. Cold air is going to rush right back in. It's going to be the coldest days air so far this season. Should be some pretty good lake effect, and also Mount Washington goes sub-zero, probably, if not Thanksgiving, then 2 or 3 days later. So all systems are go. So many areas reporting their first ski day. Sugarloaf, I know, yesterday also, and Sunday River and Sugar Bush today, I think, Sugar Bush, and then, of course, Jay next Friday. Jay, I'll be writing that blog on Tuesday, so it should be really interesting. So there you are. There's a Chin Clip right up there. Chin Clip still has a tiny bit of natural snow. And again, hopefully Weir is right. Tomorrow we might see a couple of snow squalls. And out the door weather and more. Could be a little late again tomorrow. So the and more is going to be us skiing this morning. The Ski the East motto. Remember those guys I used to work with? Born from ice. And it was pretty fast there by 10 o'clock this morning. Our legs were burning. It was fun. Talk to you later. Some walking required, but I don't think as much as Killington, to tell you the truth. That lift's going up 2,000 feet, one lift ride. Oh yeah, it's not even crunching. It's gonna be just right. Groomers. It's a little slickery, a little slippery. It's not snowing. It's snowing a tiny bit.
You get snow grains, yeah.
Snow grains. Witty, look at all the Cake 2 mind vendors. It's just quiver with the brand. Good for this kind of fast snow.
Oh yeah.
Well, it is time anyway, 8:13. I can see some snow. Maybe it's snowing so hard up top that they just can't unload. So needless to say, there's a delay today. Line's longer than it was yesterday now. By the look of these chairs, it was still raining when the temperature went below freezing last night, so the delay was probably from ice on the cables. You can see those chairs have some snow on them too, so they must have spent the night up there.
Yeah, they do.
A little crispy. Making fast turns. Good crowd. One way down. Yeah. Rebuild. Pretty colors though. Green grass, brown leaves.
Tomorrow at about 1 o'clock, I want you to take this same picture going up this lift, all right?
We're just calling for snow squalls. So the top of the mountain still does have some natural snow, but down here, it's start over time. Pretty fast skiing there. Nice,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna end up with some FRGR today.
FRGR, freezing grapple?
Frozen granular. Right now it's called
frozen
MGS.
granular. I got it.
Machine groomed. And raking down here. Some raking required. There's the snow right there. Plenty cold. I don't know who you are, Weir. You all look alike to me. You're there. Hey. Looks like it might be you in the front there. Weird one fade. Ready. The trees are turning white again. Winter is back. We are back. Whee! Serious Ski the East stuff here. Born from ice from here on up. It's really fast. And it does still Stay a little bit soft down below. Snowing just enough to make it look pretty. More and more turns and outdoor weather and more. New season. Here's lunch. Make it look good. Below the foot.
Woo! Leg burn, leg burn.
You get the leg burn. And what time is it about?
9:20 maybe?
9:20.
Yeah,
And
down to about 10,000 vertical already.
yeah, and we're right at that edge. We're up from here on up. It's kind of FRGR, frozen granular. And then down below from here on down, it's still kind of soft.
Yeah, we're getting out of the fog now too.
Yeah, still a tiny bit of natural snow out there on the top. Anyhow, that's your and more, and more, and more, and more.